Okay. Alright, hello everyone. I'm Serena Crystal. I'm back with a Genshin Impact stream. I would have done this sooner, but I had school, college, and I was also pretty busy with dance club because we have an upcoming dance showcase. So I was pretty busy with practice, and of course with practice, my muscles are going to get very sore. So yeah. Okay, let's see.
Let's see. Where's the person Ayaka told us about?
Why are you doing this? Why leave all of a sudden, after all these years?
Precisely. It's much too sudden. We've had no time to... The children are desperate for you to take them out to play. Please, we urge you to reconsider.
That must be the guy Ayaka told us about. Let's go over and see.
Alright.
Ah, you must also be here to try and convince Tejima to stay. Tejima has protected this place ever since he arrived here 30 years ago. Keeping out the treasure hoarders, fending off any monsters that draw near, resolving quarrels between the villagers. He has put an enormous amount of work into looking after this place, and we all think the world of him. But now, all of a sudden, he says he plans to leave us. We can't help but wonder, was it some... We will gladly apologize if that's the case. All we want is for him to stay.
If you want my opinion, something to do with the Vision Hunt decree, it's clear that Tejima had done nothing wrong, and still they confiscated his vision. After that, he became a completely different person. I can't claim to fully understand it, but I could tell that he'd lost something very important to him. He went off on a walk, alone, circled the village a few times, and then out of the blue, he announced that he was going to leave and become a wanderer. Truth be told, we aren't sure whether trying to keep him here is the right thing to do. But equally, it doesn't feel right to let him leave when he's in this state. He's a lost soul.
Seems like he's a well-respected guy around here.
Damn. I guess taking visions can turn people into a different person when they get their visions taken away.
Me? It's not a question of why I want to leave, but a question of true. But that's not why I chose to stay, and what made me want to come here 30 years ago. And why have I never wanted to leave in all that time? I don't have answers to those questions because I can't remember anymore. Ever since they took my vision away,
Jeez, that's
it's
so
like...
depressing.
In the past, I knew I wanted to stay here. But whatever resolve I had then, it's gone now.
Okay. Well, in that case, if we help you rediscover the reason you chose to stay, you won't need to leave anymore, right? But if you can't remember anything, it's not gonna be easy. Oh, maybe if you just try a little harder to remember, then it'll all come flooding back?
Oh, Paimon, if only it was that simple.
Oh, that reminds me. Last time I brought Tejima some fruit, I do believe...
I keep a diary? If you say so. I honestly can't seem to remember.
Oh, yes, yes, you do. And what's more, I remember you saying at the time that you wanted to make a note of a few interesting things. Things which would prove very important at a later date.
Perfect! So if we want to keep Tejima from leaving, we just need to find his diary. It must be around here somewhere. Let's take a look.
If you don't mind, we will leave you to find the diary. We should head back to the village to inform the others of Tejima's situation.
Alright, so now we just need to find a diary. And I see some more lavender. Come on, there we go.
This looks like Tejima's diary, all right. Let's see what we have here. Today, the villagers and I got together to cook dry braised salted fish. I messed up and burned mine a little, so I had to pretend that it was black snakehead instead. Today, I helped rescue a kid who had fallen in the water. After I pulled him out, he told me that his best friend Bamboo was still in the water. I searched the water the whole afternoon before finding out that Bamboo was the name of his pet crab. I went kite flying today. The string broke, so I chased after it as fast as I could. I soon realized I was never going to get it back, so I just found somewhere to sit and watch as it flew away into the distance. Seems like your average diary of daily village life. Huh? Wait! There's more! I went to pray at the shrine again today and stayed there a while. The omamori you gave me has faded a little, but it is still my most treasured possession. Now that's the kind of info we're looking for. Time to pay a visit to the shrine.
Alright.
So this is the omamori Tejima wrote about. Interesting. Looking at the color and the design, Paimon would have thought it belonged to a child. But anyway, if he had this with him all the time, there's a chance some of his elemental energy remained on it. Do you think that it might come in handy?
I mean, only one way to find out. Use the elemental sites. Oh. Oh.
I wish it could be like this
visited a lot? The soil looks like it's been disturbed. Maybe Tejima buried something precious here. Something that kept him in the village all these years? Must be something pretty amazing if it made him stick around for 30 years. Let's dig it up and take a look. It looks like a letter. The paper's gone yellow. Must have been written a really long time ago. Kona
Okay.
Village. Sounds so familiar. Where is that place again?
Okay, so this letter says if we become separated during war, go wait for me in Konda village. There will be a safe house for us there. Oh?
Huh. So the reason Tejima came here was to wait for someone. But he's been here for 30 years. Oh, guess they didn't show up in the end, huh?
Yeah.
Well, let's go give Tejima his stuff back and take it from there.
Ooh, I see some mint to pick up.
Well, I'll be. That's certainly my handwriting. And I guess the Omamorian letter belonged to me too. But I have no memory of anything that's written in this diary. Still, it's clear that I was waiting for someone here, and that I chose to wait for 30 years. Over the years, I must have made a note of anything interesting. Anything that I could share with her when we were finally reunited. And just look at all the things that did happen over the years. How could I have forgotten something so important to me? Now that I think about it, when my vision was taken from me, it felt like I'd suddenly been hollowed out. Love, regret, everything I felt for her, it's all disappeared. No. After all, I've forgotten who she was. Her face, her
That
voice,
is so depressing.
the things we
when
experienced
you get
together.
like your vision taken away
I
from
barely
you,
recall
you
any
just
of it.
forget about all the people you love, and especially your ambition of why you're living in life altogether.
It's as if she'd never been in my life to begin with. As if all these years have been nothing but a hazy dream. I think maybe not. If this is something I waited most of my life, although, what if she were to turn up eventually? Only to find I didn't remember. When I think about it like that, I do feel a slight... How curious. Why am I thinking like this when I don't even remember who she is? I shall remain here and keep waiting for her.
Tejima seems to be dealing okay, but still, it makes Paimon really sad. seems it's just like Ayaka and Tomo were saying. If you lose your vision, you lose all your hopes and dreams too.
Oh,
That
jeez.
certainly explains the state Teijima was in earlier. At least we were able to help him, weren't we? Well, let's go find the next person. According to Miss Kamisato, the second one who lost their vision is a samurai from the Tenryou Commission.
Man, that is so depressing to find out that, like, when people lose their element of visions, the thing that would help them to fight for their own lives with the visions, it's just so sad and depressing that, you barely remember who you are, you don't remember the person you love or who you're friends with, and that you just lose sight of, like, what kind of a person you are, and that's just very depressing. Uncle Ramsey? What the heck is that? There we go.
They say the Tenryou Commission is directly controlled by the Shogun. They're the ones responsible for maintaining law and order in Inazuma, the ones actually enforcing the Vision Hunt decree. But why would they take action against one of their own? Paimon doesn't get it. Huh? There seems to be some commotion over there. Let's go see what's happening.
Alright. Hold on.
I'll ask one more time. Do you intend to withhold this month's emergency provisions?
The entire clan is counting on that food. We demand an explanation. How many times do I have to say it? I don't know anything about emergency provisions.
You dare deceive us? Those provisions are essential. Do you understand? Not some goods to be pocketed by greedy samurai.
You samurai think you can just do whatever you please? The Tenryou Commission will hear of this!
Oh, huh? And who are you? One of Kurosawa's gang, no doubt.
What? We just happened to be passing by. We heard the commotion and came to see what the matter was.
I see. You seem to have come just at the right time. Perhaps you can help. This is Kurosawa. He's a samurai and a member of the Shogun's army. They issue emergency provisions to the area, and he's the one responsible for distribution. In the past, we'd simply ask him for provisions and everything would be delivered. Now, he suddenly refuses to give us. He's keeping the provisions for himself. I just know it. We'll starve without them.
No one seems to care about us. We used to think Kurosawa was a kind man, but he's shown his true colors. He's the same as all the other. It's no wonder all the visions have been confiscated. The Raiden Shogun doesn't need people like him helping her rule the nation.
This must be one of the people Ayaka asked us to help. But why would she ever want us to help someone like him? Maybe we should talk to Kurosawa and see what he has to say.
Yeah, that is pretty confusing on why we had to talk to this guy.
I've never even heard of these emergency provisions. I don't know whether it's rumors or whether they're trying to blackmail me. But either way, my own family can barely get by as it is. No, that's the first bit of truth I've heard all day. The Shogun's army told me that I was unworthy of my vision. And they said I was slacking off in my work. Apparently,
Well, that's pretty
I'd even disappointed
stupid.
the Raiden Shogun. And that's why they confiscated my vision.
Well, that's strange. You were helping enforce the Vision Hunt decree. Why would you be unworthy of your vision?
To be perfectly honest, I don't seem to remember the detail. All I know is that I will perform certain things every month. But I don't recall, and it's not just that. I have this
Does it have to do with the missing emergency provisions?
I didn't take any. Like I said, if I was taking them for myself, I wouldn't be going through such hard times right now. To top it all off, my house was just raided by treasure hoarders. Which is why I came here. If you don't believe me, go find the treasure hoarders yourself.
Huh. He seems to be telling the truth. But we better confirm. Let's go round up those treasure hoarders and see what they have to say.
Yeah.
We should be able to follow their tracks. They couldn't have gone too far.
Alright, let's go see where they are.
We really outdid ourselves this time. All those samurai houses packed with goods. We really hit the jackpot. I mean, besides that one house. You haven't. Today's just the beginning. I'll be leading you all on an epic journey of... You demand, boss!
Oh, what the heck is that thing over there?
These seem like the treasure hoarders we're after. Let's teach them a lesson.
Yeah.
Take this! Duh. Ha. 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 Duh. Yeah. Yeah. Ha. Ha. Yeah. Lightning flash! Duh. Ha. Yeah. 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 Ha.
There we go.
Oh, there goes all the Mora. We worked hard to steal that, you know? Come on, boss. Think of something. Not bad, kid. You ever think of joining the treasure hoarders? We could use someone like you. Kurosawa. So he's the one who sent you after us, huh?
So what did you see inside? Was it stuffed with food supply?
Food supplies? You kidding? That place was a complete mess. I didn't want anyone else to see it, so I was planning on opening it myself. But now that you've caught us, how about we make a deal? That little box for our freedom.
You've got a deal. Now show us what's in the box.
Huh? What the? There's nothing in...
Yeah. And they all seem to be made out to the owner of a general goods store. We better talk to this Miss Aoi and get to the bottom of this. As for you guys, you're free to go. Just pray that our paths don't cross again.
Yes. So, we redeemed ourselves for some IOUs. Does that mean we broke even?
Shut it. Let's just get out of here.
Alright. Well, that will teach those guys a lesson. Yeah, I did see some stuff right over here, so... wonder what this thing is about. Oh, there's another wisp. Of course, there's some slimes over here.
Lightning slash.
Oh, what's this? Ooh! Awesome! That is so cool! Wait. How do I get out? How do I get out? Like, yo. How am I supposed to get out? Yo, how am I supposed to? Ugh. How am I supposed to get out? I'm supposed. Ah, I'm supposed to hold it. That's why.
I'll keep this close.
Yeah. What? Really? What do you mean? God dang it.
Welcome to Tsukumomono Groceries. We've got everything you need. Or perhaps there's something you want to... Ah, so you're friends of Kurosawa, I take it? Perhaps you're here to pay...
Whoa, whoa! Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're just here to learn where they all came from. How did Kurosawa end up owing you so much money? Did he buy anything super expensive here?
Let me think. Kurosawa would come regularly to purchase large quantities of foodstuffs. He'd always put the payment. However, the price of provisions began to skyrocket recently, and his salary was no longer enough to cover the cost. So
That's how he was getting those emergency provisions. But why did he have to purchase a usual amount? If the prices increased, couldn't he just buy less?
well, if you think about it, the citizens receiving the emergency provisions must have been carefully calculating how much they needed to sustain them each time. Kurosawa thought that it would be quite the disappointment for them if they found they didn't have enough, especially after such long and careful planning. So he deemed it necessary to take on the debt rather than let the people down.
Wow. Kurosawa was purchasing and no one ever appreciated what he did.
People's attitudes will always reflect their circumstances. In the face of hardship, nobody... if you ask me, had Kurosawa told everyone the truth about the supplies from the start, then there wouldn't be such a severe backlash now. Of course, I'm sure there would still have been some unrest. What he was doing was truly a thankless deed. As for why he chose to spend his own money on emergency provisions and never tell anyone, if you're still curious, why don't you go ask him yourself? I see. That reminds me, it seems that his vision was recently confiscated. Most unfortunate. If he doesn't clear the debt on his name, he'll have no choice but to sell that sword that is so dear to him.
Sword?
Oh, didn't he tell you? He possesses a very... I've asked him about its origins. He told me that it was a gift from his father, that it was too precious to sell. In hindsight, I regret that I never made an offer on it. Everything has its price, at least that's what I think. Why don't you ask him about the sword yourself? Perhaps it'll even provide you with the answers you're looking for. Oh, but before you go, if you would kindly settle today's bill.
But we didn't buy anything!
Information is also a kind of Don't worry, I won't charge much for information about Kurosawa. Nothing we ever discussed was explicitly confidential anyway.
At least we now know where the emergency provisions were coming from. Plus, we found out that Kurosawa has a priceless sword in his possession. Let's go talk to Kurosawa again and see if he can remember anything.
Yeah, let's just see if he can. I mean, I don't know if he does remember or not. Okay, hold on.
You can find everything and anything in Tsukumomono Groceries. You can find everything and anything in Tsukumomono Groceries.
go. There's so many cherry blossoms here, and I really love it. Oh, there's more.
What are you doing here all by yourself? Where did those other two go?
I presented them with a choice. Either they left or I drew my sword. It turned out to be a real time saver, actually. Perhaps I should start using it more often. Did you manage to track down the treasure hoarders? Everything I said was true, right?
That just about sums it up. It turns out that you really were distributing emergency provisions, but they were all purchased at your own expense.
Strange. Is that really the kind of person I was? I don't really have any such recollection. Even after all you've told me, I still don't remember anything. Why was I purchasing emergency provisions for everyone? And why would I put myself in such a difficult situation? But I could not deny that when I brandished my sword to scare those two away, I could sense that my body was somehow reluctant to do so. And this sword was once wielded by my father. I remember once when I was young, I wanted to sneak out with the blade and show it off to the... What did he say? It would seem that I forgot many important things when my vision was taken from me. All I can remember now is my father telling me that this blade bore his life's creed and said...
Hey! If you look carefully, there seems to be some words engraved on the hilt. Can you recognize the words?
Virtue, and somehow those two words seem to explain everything now, taking on seemingly endless debts to make others happy. I guess that must have been my greatest ambition after all. But what use of virtue and justice? I purchased... The Tenryo Commission seized my vision. And the very people I was so desperate... And the irony of all of it is... I'm incapable of being a good person. Yet I'm equally unable to be bad. I don't know.
Yet another trouble. When we get the chance, let's speak to Toma about Kurosawa's debt. The Yashiro Commission would surely help cover his expenses. In any case, we must never let him sell off that sword. Yeah, seems like losing all ambition is a terrible experience. Fortunately for us, you don't have a vision. Let's go find the next poor soul.
The next poor soul. Hence Ursula's song from My Little Mermaid, poor unfortunate soul, in pain, in need. Alright, so...
Hello, nice to meet you. My name is Xiangling. I'm a Everything's ready. Let's...
Yeah, let's see what this one's about since it's time limited.
So, Sucrose, the package you mentioned that you received, you need to be careful when you're opening packages. I once had a friend mail me some research material. Once I opened it, oh, it let...
No, this package didn't contain any hazardous materials.
Hey, Timaeus! What are you chatting about? And who might this be?
Oh, hello, you two. This is Sucrose.
Hi, I'm Sucrose, Albedo's assistant. If you have any alchemy-related queries, you could always ask me. I do my best to help. Huh? Do I look nervous? My apologies. I don't get out too often. I'm usually in the laboratory where there aren't many others to talk to.
That's okay. You don't have to force yourself. I'm sure that once we get to know each other better, we'll become really good friends.
Hey, aren't you the legendary traveler? The one who repelled Storm Terror? I've heard so many stories about you. Always wanted an opportunity to research you up close.
Research me up close? Jeez.
What do you mean, research?
Sorry. Don't mind me. What am I saying?
Well, never mind. So, what were you two talking about just now?
Sucrose received a strange package recently.
A strange package?
Yes. I believe it's from a Sumeru scholar who came here to study in Mondstadt. It's most likely a thank you gift for collaborating on some research together.
Huh? A package from an academia scholar? Oh, then there could be anything inside.
There wasn't anything dangerous inside, just a bunch of strange cards. I think I've seen Timaeus with some similar-looking cards before, so I came to ask him about what they might be.
You've seen me with some cards? Maybe those were the testing...
No, they didn't look like test cards. Here, have a look.
Oh.
Oh, you meant these? Huh.
No, never. Recently, I've been spending all my time up in the mountains working on cultivating pentatonic sweet flowers. Why? Is this an area of research that has started trending in the alchemical community during my absence?
You could definitely say that it's trending, but not as an area of research. It's a card game that's been getting really popular these days. It's called Genius Invocation TCG.
Genius Invocation TCG! Yeah, we've been hearing about this game all over the place. But this is the first time we've ever actually seen any of the cards. We didn't know it had made it all the way to Mondstadt. Must be pretty popular, huh?
That's right. The game's been catching on lately. The Yae publishing house in Inazuma has even published a series of light novels based on the game. It starts with a young guy in Sumeru who finds an ancient casket of tomes in the attic. He opens it and discovers that the soul of an ancient... It turns out that the Crocodile King was King Deshret's viceroy, who battled an opponent named the Ibis King. During the match, the Crocodile King fell prey to his opponent's scheme and was sealed away in the casket of tomes. After being unexpectedly released by the kid, the Crocodile King possesses him and helps him to gradually climb the ranks and become a legendary TCG player.
Timaeus.
Huh? What's wrong, Sucrose? If you're interested in how this...
No. I was just thinking about that time you requested an extension on your progress report deadline, citing personal reasons for the delay.
I did go through a phase recently where I wasn't putting enough focus on my work, but it's under control now.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Oh? Why?
Well, since it's a gift from a researcher I've collaborated with, I thought that I should at least try to learn the rules. That way, I could say that I at least tried to appreciate his gift.
Oh, right! And since it's a game from Sumeru, who knows? Playing it might even make you smarter. Okay, fine. Paimon's curious and would like to give it a try. Please? Although, it seems like we can't learn how to play it anytime soon, cause Timaeus has given up for a while.
Well, research is my priority, but if you'd like to learn the rules of Genius Invocation TCG, then I'd actually suggest you go to the Cats. Yep, that's the place. It's where everyone in the community goes to play when they have time. Trying to learn the rules can be intimidating at first, but it's a lot of fun once you get the hang of it.
Interesting.
Understood. Traveler, Paimon, let's go to the Cat's Tail and try asking around. To be honest, hearing Timaeus talking about the game has also piqued my curiosity.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's get going!
Battlefield of Dice, Cats, and Cards. Okay.
I guess I'll post a commission at the Adventurers Guild.
No? Oh. Yeah, let's go see if the Cat's Tail place. Oh, look at the little cats.
Welcome to the Cat's Tail. Ah, it's the Traveler and Paimon. What a nice surprise. Oh, and Sucrose the Alchemist. It's been a while, hasn't it? I'm afraid I've already told you before. Fur from the Cat's Tail staff is not for sale, no matter how much Mora you offer.
Don't worry, Margaret. We're not here for that research project I told you about last time.
Sucrose, what kind of experiment were you trying to do with the cat's tail?
Oh, I just wanted to test out some hypotheses, and I needed some materials.
Oh my god,
But,
this little cat
we can talk
on
about
this
that
little
later.
bed, it's so cute.
Actually, Margaret, we're here to learn more about Genius Invocation TCG.
Ah, Genius Invocation TCG. We were just talking about that. You see, more and more people have been gathering at the Cat's Tail to play, so I thought, why...
Allow me to interpret.
Prince says that the word customer...
My mistake. So it seems I haven't introduced you yet. This is Prince and Shuyan. They will be in charge of taking care of our TCG players.
I'm afraid I must correct you there, ma'am. Only Prince, the strongest and most formidable TCG player of all, is capable of providing valuable guidance. The average player is incapable of grasping the subtlety and sheer genius behind Prince's every play, and he has no choice but to rely on me to communicate with
Wow! Another guy who can understand animals!
How can you use such a crude word as animal to describe the one and only Prince? He is special. Oh? What's that? Shuyan. In the eyes of the common folk, I look no different than any other ordinary...
It seems he really is capable of communicating with the cat.
Seriously, how can he get all of that from a simple meow?
Yes, it was the sacred duels of Genius Invocation, TCG, that formed and cemented our bonds of mutual understanding.
So, playing Genius Invocation TCG fosters some sort of a telepathic link between players?
Somehow Paimon doubts that.
Anyway, if you'd like to know anything about Genius Invocation TCG, then please ask Shuyan, who will ask Prince. Though I'd love to explain more myself, it's time for my daily walk. I'll let Prince play a game with you and walk you through all the rules.
Just as a seasoned warrior can foresee the path of his opponent's sword, so too can I, as a TCG master, predict my opponent's every play. It would be improper to pit a newcomer to the art.
Oh, Prince doesn't want to play with us, huh?
I'm sorry, but from the day I met the mighty Cardmaster Prince, I swore an oath that my hands would live solely to hope.
If Prince is unwilling to play, then I guess we should look for an alternative.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. What is it? I'm pretty busy over here, you know?
Oh, so she's a bartender in the Cat's Tail who hates all alcoholic beverages but has a rare talent for bartending. Huh.
Why is it that every player that sets foot in here to play Genius Invocation TCG has to have a drink? Ugh! Don't they have any clue that the key to playing a game is the ability to think straight? Seriously, games and drinks don't mix. Don't they get that?
What can I say? As the tavern owner, I can't help but feel happy to hear this. Anyway, I see you've been working hard, so I thought you could use a break. So why not come over here and teach Steve?
Ha! Yeah, what kind of break is that? I'd rather not. Oh, why are we letting all these loafers come in here to play Genius Invocation TCG anyway? All it does is encourage more people to come to the bar for a drink. You know, if drink sales keep going up like this, pretty soon Mondstadt's alcohol industry is gonna reach new heights. Looks like my first step in destroying Mondstadt's alcohol industry should be stamping out the spread of Genius Invocation TCG.
My dear, you are quite mistaken. You said it yourself. A clear mind is... Prince speaks the truth, Diona. Not only is the spread of Genius Invocation TCG no obstacle to your goal of...
Could it really?
Sure, why not? Alrighty then. Our 2 customers are waiting to learn. Shuyan, let's put you on drink mixing duty for now.
But Shuyan is destined for a far greater purpose.
Shuyan, drink mixing, now.
Ooh, all right. We'll need some space to learn. Let's go to that empty table over there.
play this game.
Okay, let's go through the rules. First things first. You'll be needing your deck, so place that on the table.
Deck?
Yes. You should have built a deck. You know, a set of cards that meets the bare minimum requirement to play the game. What's with the blank stares? Come on. Don't tell me you came to learn Genius Invocation TCG without bringing any cards.
That's right. We have some cards that I received from a friend.
Yeah. You're gonna need a few more cards than that. Okay, let me think. To learn the game, you'll need at least 2 character cards to switch between. Oh, that reminds me. A few days ago when I was closing up for the night, I noticed a customer had left a couple of character cards on the bar counter. Maybe you could use those for now.
Are you sure that's okay?
It's already been a few days and he still hasn't come back to claim them. Who knows? Maybe he left them here on purpose. Oh, okay, yeah, I got them here with me. You know, just in case the customer came looking for them. Yeah, not because I like to play the game or anything.
Jessie!
Please.
Jessie! Oh, my dog. She's so cute. Oh, Jessie, Jessie! Jessie! Jessie!
Alright, so now we have 2 character cards. That's everything we need, right? Yup. So, are you ready to start? Alright, then let's begin.
I see a dice.
Welcome to the world of Genius Invocation TCG. Simply put, this is a game where you control character cards to duke it out with your opponent. Pew, pew, pew! Once you've defeated all of your opponent's character cards, now then, you're gonna need a...
Alright.
Let's finish this, swiftly.
First, we roll 8 elemental dice at the start of every round.
8 elemental dice. Oh, that's pretty
These dice
interesting.
correspond to elemental energy. We'll be spending these dice to perform actions. Once the roll phase is over, you'll enter the action phase, where the real game starts. During the action phase, you can spend elemental dice to perform various actions. Of course, the most common action is to use character skills.
Alright.
Huh, not bad. You just made your first attack. During the action phase, both sides will take turns making their moves. After you use a skill to attack your opponent, it's their turn to attack. And as you can see, once the enemy finishes their move, it's our turn again. Now, these are Omni-Element dice. They can be spent on any move regardless of the elemental type. So, we're gonna use them to pay for the pyro dice needed for this skill. Go on, give it a try. That was pretty good. That's one opponent down for the count. Bam! But the game has only just begun. Remember? You have to defeat all opponents to win.
Alright.
As much as we'd like to attack again, seems like we've run out of usable dice. In that case, let's end this round. After you end round, you won't be able to do anything else this round. And once everyone chooses end round, we can move on to the next round.
Alright.
Alright! Here we are, a fresh new round! Woohoo! And a fresh new round means time to roll the dice again. That's how we're gonna get the elemental energy we need, after all. Ooh, that's some terrible luck. Well, there's no way we'll be able to use Diluc's skill now. But don't worry, situations like these are why we have the option to reroll. Once per round, you can select all the dice that you don't like and reroll them.
Very interesting.
When the action phase begins, the player who first chose end round in the previous round takes their turn first. This means that since you finished first the last round, you'll be the first to start this round. Alrighty then, let's learn a little bit about energy and elemental bursts. Each time you use a skill, your character will gain 1 energy. Once Diluc's energy is full, he can use a powerful elemental burst. But we're still 1 short. Never mind. Let's start with a normal attack instead. Diluc's normal attack only needs 1 pyro die and 2 other dice of any type. In any case, your normal attack needs fewer pyro dice than your elemental skill.
Alright.
Now we have 3 energy plus. We have enough pyro elemental. It's time to use your powerful element.
Verdict is?
Ooh. That's awesome. Alright then.
In an actual game of Genius Invocation TCG, you need to use multiple character cards to form a party. Next up, it's time for your second character card, Kaya, to take the stage. It seems like any move by Kaya is gonna cost quite a lot of cryo dice.
I wonder if they have like these dice to buy. Because I would like to buy these kind of dice.
When you deal cryo damage, you'll cause your target to be affected by...
Freeze!
Good! Now our opponent is affected by cryo. This is a good time to learn about elemental reactions. Different types of elemental damage affect enemies with different elements. When a character is affected by certain elemental combos, an elemental reaction will be triggered. At the moment, your opponent is affected by cryo, so we should try and use a pyro skill on them. Looks like we have to switch active characters, though. Oh, that reminds me. Both sides must have 1 active character, while others are considered standby characters. Normally, we can only use the active character skills. Now, if we want to use the skills of our standby character, we'll have to switch them to the active character. In this case, we'll have to switch to Diluc. in order to use his skills. You can spend one elemental die of any kind to switch a standby character to the active character.
Let's finish this, swiftly.
Switching characters is an action, just like using a skill. So once it's... Most skills can only target the active character. Alright then, now that D-Luke is our because the opponent is already affected by... When triggered, this will allow you to deal loads of damage and...
Okay, seems like...
Alright! Next up, these cards are all new. Each time a match starts, you have to draw 5 action cards to form your starting hand.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh. Looks like we don't have any elemental dice we can spend to make an attack. Seriously? We still don't have any usable dice even after that reroll? Well, never mind. Even in cases like this, don't underestimate action cards. They can grant all...
Alright.
So playing this action card will require 2. Some other cards will cost you the... We'll cross that bridge. So, playing an action card from your hand is a form of fast. Simply put, you can continue to act even after. But wait, D-Luke's elemental skill costs 3 pot. Not a problem. This is where we can use a more advanced... By discarding 1 card from your hand, you can and this card isn't useful right now. So, you might as well... Sometimes, you won't be able to perform any actions you want to because you didn't roll the elemental dice you wanted. Oh well. Moving on. Ingenious Invocation TCG. Keeping up a constant flow of combat, in this case, well, let's just take all, just like playing cards from your hand. Elemental tune, come on, hurry up! Use well, would you look at that? Finally, we now have enough elemental dice to use because you have the White Iron Greatsword equipped.
Alright.
Now comes the final part. Hoo-yeah! In a real match, you can make... At this time, we can select any number of cards in our hand to shuffle back into the... Once you have confirmed any adjustments you wish to... Oh boy! Let's see how you do this time.
Let's go.
Wow, okay.
Hey, look at you! You sure are getting the hang of these rolls. You can preview your opponent's actions. I mean, that is to say. Check it out. So here's where you can all your opponent's intended act. Reference this to come. Well then, that's the end of the tutorial.
Okay, I guess I'll end the round too. Just so we can get some rerolls.
Wait. There's one more. Every time you hit an end phase, you get to draw 2 Remember, you have to make use of both your elemental...
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll end it too, just to gain more rolls. Come on. Yes, Pyros. And I win! Yeah.
Alright, cool. Those are the basics. Did you get all that? What we just played was an adventure challenge designed specially for new players. Genius Invocation TCG can be played in duel mode, where each player brings 3 character cards, or in adventure challenge mode, with a fixed deck for each challenge. But the rules are all the same. As long as you understand the basics, then you should be able to take on any of those rowdy booze hounds.
Booze hounds, oh my god.
Although I feel there are still many details to grasp, I think I understand the basic premise of the game now.
That was quite the detailed explanation. I didn't know the Cat's Tail's famous mixologist had such an eclectic skill set.
What? Oh, when did you get here?
I stepped in while you were in the middle of your explanation. I hope I didn't dampen the mood.
You snuck in without making a sound! Anyway, what are you doing here?
The Cat's Tail is a player in Mondstadt's alcohol industry. Naturally, I'm here today to discuss a few items of business with Margaret.
Too bad she just left. But if you head off right now, you might still catch up with her.
Never mind, it's nothing urgent.
Wait, this card? It's Diluc's character card!
Although I have some degree of experience with Genius Invocation TCG.
A customer left it behind a few days ago. But he wasn't even playing the game while he was here.
Oh? And what sort of a customer was he?
He wasn't wearing an eye patch, okay? He had a light complexion and a super serious look on his face. He wasn't much of...
Eye patch, you say?
Gah! I was trying to give the opposite description, but I just ended up giving it away.
Don't worry. Somehow, I don't think he'll be giving you...
So, what about the Diluc character card?
I don't mind. It's just a card with my...
I didn't expect Diluc to be familiar with Genius Invocation TCG.
The game has been catching on lately. It's hard to go anywhere without hearing it mentioned. Every now and then, I'll sit down and play a game with the I was hoping we could play a game, but this issue of someone leaving a character card with... It's getting late, and someone has some explaining to do. We'll have to have... Good. Then I'll take my leave.
You know where the door is. Don't let the door hit ya where Lord Barbados split ya. Uh-oh. Guard captain.
I hope Kaya will be alright. Well, now that we are familiar with the rules, why don't we try playing a game of Genius Invocation TC?
Ooh, 2 new players having their butt. In order to play an official duel, you need to have 3 character cards. Remember, a complete deck has to have 3 character cards and 30 action.
Then, let's use my cards. These were mixed in with all the others I had received. And I didn't know what they were for at first. But now that we've learned the rules, I can see that this one must be the Sucrose character card. Now, it looks like we each have the Kaya, Diluc, and Sucrose character cards. So why don't we have our first duel? Take your time.
Alright. I'm so tired. Yeah, let's just go over there. Find the next person who lost their vision.
The third person who had their vision taken is supposed to be a famous sword master around these parts. Paimon heard that he's the present-day master of Meikyo Shisui art. Sounds pretty impressive. This is his dojo. Luckily, there's some people around. Let's go talk to them.
Nanako, don't worry. Sensei will be fine. Those thugs that challenged the dojo were strong, but he fought them all off in the end, didn't he?
Maybe, but I'm still worried about him. Things have gotten dangerous before in the past, but it's never shaken him. This time, though...
Is It's just because he's been possessed, that's all. Once the exorcism has taken place, he'll be right as rain in no time.
Hey there! Did something happen?
Who are you? I don't care whether you're trespassers or just here to harass us while Sensei is impaired. Get out of here immediately! Don't make me draw my blade, or you won't live to regret it.
No! You got it so wrong! We just came here to...
Disciples?
Yep. We've heard all about the mighty master of Meikyo Shisui art. It's the whole reason we came all this way, to seek him out and ask him to train us. But then we got here and overheard you talking about how he got possessed or something?
From the way you're dressed, it doesn't look like you're from around here. Please, accept my apologies. We've had so many people trying to cause us trouble recently that we're on high alert. You haven't arrived at the best of times, I'm afraid. Sensei got possessed recently, and he's still recovering. He's not able to take on any new disciples for the time being. I see you are earnest in your pursuit. Okay, how about this? Sensei's name is Domon. A name, though self-taught, he mastered the art of the sword to a high level. He then proceeded to defeat many other prominent sword masters, never losing a single fight. He once said that his goal was to become the best sword master in the world. And so, even while training us, he continued to hone his own art. His fervor truly inspired us, and we trained hard, determined to keep up with him. But then...
Not long ago, Sensei had his vision taken away. He hasn't been the same since. He says the strangest things over and over, and he refuses to let us train. Junya and I have discussed it, and we both think that he's been possessed by an evil spirit. So we've asked but if I'm honest, I still have my doubts over whether he'll come.
The Grand Narukami Shrine? What's that?
You haven't heard of it? It's the largest shrine on Narukami Island. The head shrine maiden is reputed to have very close ties with the almighty Shogun herself. Not that we'd have any means of involving the head shrine maiden, of course. But even one of the ordinary shrine maidens from the Grand Narukami Shrine, so don't worry, Nanako. Sensei is going to be just fine. The exorcism will take place this evening. You're both more than welcome to come and watch if you're interested.
So, losing your vision can cause possession? Guess we should come back this evening and see for ourselves.
I highly doubt this exorcism is going to help. I mean, I guess they're pretty desperate or something, but like, highly doubt it will work. I'm just checking something on my phone real quick. Oh, it's something for Mika? Wait. Oh boy. Okay, let's see.
Shh. So you decided to come. It's a good thing you didn't just now, when Nanako was attending to him. When she asked him who the people were, it looked like he was in great distress. He was covering all the while he kept calling those names. Some of them we knew, others we didn't recognize. But they all seemed to be the name. One of them was Anzai. He used to be a fellow disciple of Sensei's. His senior, in fact. But Sensei wouldn't stop calling his name. Thankfully, the Shrine Maidens managed. The ritual has now begun. All we can do is patiently await the result. Here's hoping Sensei will be back to his normal self very soon. Please, excuse me for a moment while I fetch some water. If he wakes up, he is...
Oh, who is that guy?
Huh? Who's that sneaking around? Uh-oh. Could they be here to mess up the exorcism? We won't let them get away with it. Come on, let's go after them.
Oh, I didn't notice nothing.
Seems they aren't here. Should we keep going further up?
Yeah, it seems like whoever this person is trying to mess something up.
Is this definitely the right place? Let's look a little further up. Aha! Suspicious person sighted! That's gotta be him!
Suspicious
Ow.
person sighted.
How did you... Are you sure you're Domon's disciple? Unless... I get...
Excuse me? We're the ones asking, and what are you doing sneaking around these parts? You seem like bad news, mister!
Bad news? I'll have you know I trained side by side with Domon, but I don't care to talk about that time anymore. But if you must...
His senior? Wait, that means you must be...
Anzai? Yes, that's me. Because I don't wish to see Domon or anyone else associated with him ever again. When we were young, we trained under the same sword master. Studying Make-Yoshi Sui art, I had begun training 5 years before him, and everyone looked up to me as a steady... Practitioners of Make-Yoshi Sui art seek to achieve stillness of mind, but Domon was different. The first thing he did when he joined was go straight to our sensei and ask him, with a beaming... Sensei scolded him and told him that the art of the sword should not be used for such vain ends. Sensei said that coveting the title of the best sword master, barely days into his training, I thought so too at the time. But Domon began making swift... Only then did I realize that it was Domon who had long since freed his mind. He was consumed by his singular desire to become the best in the world. He sought nothing less than perfection in the art of the sword. and nothing could deter him from this goal, no matter what.
Sure sounds like he meant business. So how come you don't want to ever see him again?
Because until he arrived, I was convinced that I would succeed our sensei as the master of Meikyo Shisui art. Of all the disciples, I was the most gifted. I had trained the longest. Domon's arrival changed everything. When we sparred, I lost not just the match, but my pride and my... Later, I heard that he sparred with Sensei, too. Sensei was advanced in years by then, and unfortunately, after that I wanted nothing further to do with him. Deep down, though, I still respected his mastery of the blade. So, when I heard rumors that he had lost his mind, my first reaction was to dismiss them as false. How could I decided to quietly come and see if it were true. Then, to my complete astonishment, so you see, I came here not to cause him any harm. I just wanted this... Okay, you've heard my story.
Seems like we got it wrong this time. Still, Paimon's not sure we should bring him back with us. Let's go see how the exorcism's coming along.
Okay, there's a shrine maiden.
What? You're saying he isn't possessed? Does that mean he's just lost his mind? But how is that possible?
Nanako, please.
I am sorry. With what powers I have, I can find no sign of any malignance, but spirits may take a myriad of forms in this world, many of which I cannot claim to have witnessed myself. Thus, and all is certainly not lost, for I received word not long ago.
Lady Yai? Is that...
The head shrine maiden of the Grand Narukami Shrine? That's wonderful news!
Correct. Lady Yai is most knowledgeable indeed, and has abundant experience in the exorcism. I am unable to say for certain whether an evil spirit has possessed...
Excuse me, Miss Inagi, but I must ask...
That won't be necessary. All that is required of you is your timely arrival at the Grand Narukami Shrine. I must leave now, but we will meet soon at the shrine. I wish Domon a full and...
Who'd have thought Lady Yai herself would have taken notice of our...
Do you mean to say that Sensei isn't renowned enough to deserve Lady Yai's attention?
No, that's not what I meant at all. I just mean this is Lady Yai, the head shrine maiden. She has... Anyway, you should join us too, tomorrow. Given that you've traveled all this way just to meet our sensei, we, the disciples of Meikyo Shisui...
Sure! After all, everyone seems pretty excited about Lady Yai. We're curious to meet her too. Who knows? Maybe we'll be able to find out a thing or two about the Raiden Children from her.
Alright, so... Yeah, it looks like that I'm going to have to find... Oh, I see a beetle. want to get that beetle. Oh, there's another one.
Lightning slash.
Come on. Give me the blossoms. Give me the sakura blossoms. Alright. Yes. I see something's glowing over there. Ooh. Okay. Come on. Almost there. These bugs are everywhere.
Lightning slash.
Okay, so I guess like that's another way you can get up there. Yeah, looks like I can't go in there. Ooh, treasure? What? Seriously? Tricked me. I thought there was actual treasure and you just... Ugh. More beetles! That fox is just like lying there. And there's another fox. Ooh, these cherry blossoms. The sakura blossoms. I really like looking at these.
Take that!
Like in real life, I love cherry blossoms and sakura trees. It's just like my favorite thing to just look at because it's just so pretty and beautiful. All the way up there?
Lightning slash!
Yeah, how am I supposed to get up there? Okay, come on. Yes! Ooh, bird's eggs. Little bird egg. That was a close one. Oh, I gotta stop doing that. No, no, oh my fucking god. Oh. Okay. Alright. Oh, that was a close call. Yeah, I think this was the tree I was supposed to be looking for. Oh. Ah, that's what that thing meant. Now I understand.
Do you think that's Lady Ai? Oh, no wonder Junior is so excited. She has a really striking presence.
Oh, I've seen this one before. I've seen this lady before. She's friends with the Shogun.
Also, is it just Paimon? Or did she look right at us just now? It was probably nothing. It's not like she's ever seen us before.
Keep away. Keep away from me. I gave up the art of the sword. Please, let me go, I beg you.
As you can see, Lady Yai, Domon has persisted in this state for some time now. He appears to see those who have lost to him in duels past, gathered all around.
Lady Yai, it must be a possession, right? This is nothing like him at all. In the past, no matter what came...
I'm sorry. It is clear to me that your sensei is not possessed by any evil spirit.
But... then does that mean...
Yes. This is a change in the person himself. Unable to cope with the tremendous pressure he was under, he suffered a spiritual collapse. With his wits impaired, he finally descended into madness. As one who is thrown into the sea, though he fights back desperately against his predicament, it does nothing to prevent his descent into the depths. As for what has triggered this change, I believe it must be the loss of his vision. For to be stripped of one's vision is to be stripped of one's ambition.
Stripped of his ambition? But Lady Yi, even without his ambition, why should he suffer such a dramatic change? How does that explain his descent into madness?
Your school practices Meikyo Shisui art, does it not? Stillness of mind, freedom from all agitation. What a fine notion that would be if any in this world could ever hope to achieve it. There was once one who claimed to be indifferent to rank and reward, and who fled enraged when defeated by his junior. And then there was an aged swordmaster who was aggrieved enough that he crossed blades with a disciple he himself had taught. Then, what of the one who crossed blades with his own sensei and beloved fellow disciple, and defeated them both? Can one truly remain unagitated, of still mind in moments such as these?
Lady Yi, I'm not sure I understand.
The path of the Swordmaster is filled with twists and turns. It is no small undertaking to pursue the position of greatest Swordmaster in the world. It requires one to take their sword firmly in both hands and cut down the hopes and dreams of others, even those of one's closest companions. Only a deep commitment to his ambition to become the best made it possible for him to rise above the pain of these encounters, to focus on the way ahead. When that ambition disappeared, he began to doubt himself. As he battled his growing anxiety, he slowly descended into the state you see him in now. Much like a certain fatally flawed friend of mine.
Poor Sensei. To think he's been suffering so greatly.
I'm sorry. It's all my fault, Father. Sensei.
That's enough.
Huh? Isn't that Anzai? Where did he come from? Did he follow us the whole way here?
Anzai, why are there two of you? Is that you or a ghost? You're here for revenge, aren't you? I knew it would come.
You're right to assume that my feelings towards you are far from kindly. It's been so long now that I made peace with it years ago. You did nothing wrong that day. I don't think most of the people you beat along the way would hold it against you. On the contrary, when you cut our ambitions short, we entrusted them to you, in the hopes that now I know that we can't place our hopes in you any longer. But that is no reason to strip them of theirs. Follow the way of the sword all the way to the highest peak.
But what if one day, the same thing, I put everything I had into trying to become the best? But what if it was all a human? If there's a chance they'll end up like me one day, I'd rather they stay where they are now than go any further.
Have you asked them what they think?
Sensei, after you rescued me from the hands of the pirates, I told myself I can't know whether I will suffer in my future as you do now. All I know, I want to keep going until the day that I can stand before everyone with my head held high and announce that I, like my sensei Domo...
Nanako's far from the only one. Actually...
Goodness.
You see? You can place the ambition you once had in their hand. Being stripped of your ambition is something that's never happened to me, so I can't claim to understand it. But I do know what it feels like to have your ambitions crushed. That's what happened on the day that you So, just as I once placed my ambitions onto you, it is time. You are not in the same position that I was. When I left, I had nothing to my name. But you...
I'm sorry to have made you worry for me, and for the state of Meikyo Shisui. I no longer have the resolve to become the best in the world. The emptiness and suffering inside of me will... But as your sensei, I shall commit to imparting unto you everything. This is my promise. And I humbly ask Anzai.
You can count on that. I'd be checking in on you occasionally anyway, but I am now used to the life of a wanderer. I do not belong in the dojo anymore, so I will simply stop by once in a while to make sure. Well, don't just stand there staring at me. Say thank you to Lady Yai and then get yourself back home.
So even though his ambition was taken away, his disciples can take it over on his behalf. Guess that sort of solves this one, huh?
Traveler, a moment, please. Lady Yai has some
she wants
words
to
for you.
speak to us.
So, my intuition was correct. The wind that blows from afar carries fresh life to these shores. For us to meet now is premature. Nevertheless, you set foot on these islands at precisely the right moment. I have high hopes for you, child. Don't disappoint me.
Ooh, Lady Yai seems to have taken a real interest in you. She seems super mysterious. Paimon's so curious what she really meant by all that. We can come back to it another time. For now, we should go report back to Miss Kamisato.
All right. Let's go report back to the headquarters.
Oh, Ayaka! Guess who fulfilled all your wishes? Huh? Ayaka! Huh?
Oh, she shows her face.
Traveler, Paimon. It is a pleasure to finally meet you both face to face. I have heard all about how you helped our three friends. My sincerest thanks to you.
Yeah. Short of getting them their visions back, it seems like there's no way to really help them. Ayaka, how come this time you get to come out and meet us in person?
Because now that you have done the three things I asked of you, I consider you to be my friends. As you will observe, I dispensed the screen for Toma
us
also.
her friends. Well, that's very nice. You're my friend too, Ayaka.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait a second. But isn't Toma your, servant? Paimon's happy to help and all, but Paimon sure as heck did not sign up to be a servant.
She said we're her friends, not servant, Paimon.
Oh. Paimon, you are most entertaining. Toma is first and foremost my friend, and was so before he ever became my attendant.
Oh, okay then. Ayaka, you seem pretty different out in the open compared to how you are behind the screen.
Thank you both kindly. Back to the matter at hand. You have now witnessed the pain of those deprived of their visions. What are your feelings on what you have seen? Perhaps in the eyes of a deity such as the almighty Shogun, the lives of those who inhabit the world are inconsequential. Thunders roar, lightnings flash, the winds assault, and the rains descent. All these things take place with no regard for the feelings of the common people. But I believe that surely you understand what they must endure. It seems that perhaps now you can appreciate my feelings on all of this. In which case, perhaps you would be willing to reconsider your stance? You will? Really? Naturally.
Alright, bravo, my lady. You were right all along.
See? I told you she wouldn't reject them. I placed my trust in the right person after all. Now then, given that the remainder of our discussion pertains to matters of a more confidential nature, perhaps we can move to the Komori Tea House? We ought not to involve other members of the Yashiro Commission.
Well, here we are again.
Please continue without me. I'll keep watch.
Alright.
So, what's the deal with this place anyway? What makes it your favorite meeting spot?
I see dongos. I actually want to try these treats. I never got to try them in real life. Are these like egg rolls, or like little slices of eggs that's rolled up? And I see onigiri, that looks like.
This is land that was gifted to the Yashiro Commission by the Shogun. The Kamisato clan has the exclusive right to plan, build, and repair any property on this land, and even to allow or deny access. Such privileges exist due to the Yashiro Commission's role in managing ceremonial affairs. Oftentimes, it is not appropriate to discuss details in front of bystanders.
Oh, Paimon gets it. Gotta keep a bit of mystery, right?
Once the number of ceremonial affairs conducted in the city began to decline, our forebears built a tea house here. Only members of the Yashiro Commission are permitted to come and go as they please.
Makes sense. Perfect place for a secret base.
In any case, we can talk freely here. I presume you have a few questions that you wish to ask me? The almighty Shogun. I've seen her on but only a few occasions, most of them formal ceremonies. She inspires awe, commands respect, and exudes a sense of absolute authority. But as I recall, there was something else about her that struck me even more deeply. It was her almost complete lack of any emotion. In that sense, she appeared to me to be less of a ruler and more of, well, an executive official, I suppose. Focused exclusively on her single goal of implementing eternity, acting accordingly without feeling. The issue is this. For the vast majority of people, the Vision Hunt Decree is something that has no implications whatsoever. After all, it is but a tiny minority of people who receive visions. Moreover, it is not unknown for visions to spark jealousy in others. Because of this, the attitude of most people towards the Vision Hunt Decree is one of indifference.
How can they be like that? Paimon's getting mad.
Nevertheless, in addition to us, there is also the resistance on Watatsumi Island.
Resistance? You mean like an army fighting against the decree?
Yes. Many who have lost or fear losing their visions have rallied together under Sangonomiya on Watatsumi Island to form a resistance group. To say a little more about Sangonomiya, historically, there has always been some conflict between them and the shogunate of Narukami Island due to their different belief systems. But I do wonder whether there may be some other agenda behind their resistance movement. beyond merely fighting the Vision Hunt decree. Of course. We have tried on numerous occasions. Unfortunately, each time a proposal to repeal the decree arrives at Tenshukaku, it is promptly vetoed by both the Tenryou Commission and the Kanjo Commission, and subsequently scrapped. They invariably adopt a stance of unconditional support for the Shogun's decisions. They have no interest in discussing anything. It almost makes one wonder whether they had a hand in the Shogun's sudden decision to issue the Vision Hunt decree.
Ooh, Paimon has a question though.
Oh? What would you like to know, Paimon?
Have you got a plan yet to fight the Vision Hunt decree?
To be honest, we do not.
What?
Please, do not forget that challenging the Vision Hunt decree is tantamount to challenging a deity. Coming to terms with that is already a difficult step to take.
So...
Well, for the moment, all we can do is try and reduce the harm that is being caused by this decree. For example, by providing vision bearers with safe refuge, or manufacturing counterfeit visions for them as a contingency measure.
You're telling Paimon that there are people out there who can make fake visions?
Don't underestimate the talents of the craftspeople in Hanamizaka. To the naked eye, their counterfeits are indistinguishable from the genuine article. The problem we are facing right now is that Master Masakatsu, who was providing us with counterfeit visions, has recently been arrested by the Tenryou Commission.
Darn! So they found out about it? Ugh.
Yes. We knew it was not a long-term solution, and that it was only a matter of time before it would be exposed. But we cannot simply abandon Master Masakatsu. Exactly. I feel the same way. But given mine and Toma's identities as part of the Yashiro Commission, breaking him out of prison would risk dragging down the reputation of the entire Kamisato clan should we be caught. That would... By no means do we intend to place the burden of such a task on your shoulders alone. When you are ready, go to Hanamizaka and look for a fireworks shop run by the Nagonohara family. There?
Okay. So it looks like we're going to start a future battle to fight against the Vision Hunt decree in hopes that it will be abolished. Alright. Whoops. So if I can get a 5-star, but I highly doubt it. Yep. Hold on. Alright. So I'm gonna leave it off here. Tomorrow we'll start more of this quest to fight the people to abolish the Vision Hunt Decree once and for all, because I do not like the fact that people's visions are being taken away, thus visions being stripped of the people, and thus them becoming a different person. So yeah. So thank you all so much for watching. I'm Serena Crystal, so I hope you guys have a good morning, a good afternoon, good evening, and a good night. Bye everybody.